All right. Week off and we're back.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Did you make any bets last week?
I didn't. I took the entire week off. I was like, going 7 out of my last 8. I was like, it's time to just pull in the reins a little bit.
Yeah, I did a live bet on the playoff because when the other guy missed his putt was missed so badly, I was just like, yeah, Sam Burns going to win this in the playoff. And then I was like feeling myself. I tried to take that money and bet it on something else, and I didn't go so well.
Looks like I lost. Oh no, it's just on there.
Had an error message on your computer there talking about. I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it last week, which never fails.
Never fails.
Don't know you.
Yeah.
Who's Anthony Kim?
But Sam Burns, 3 wins in less than a calendar year.
Yeah.
JT, so many top 5s and top 10s.
Yeah.
He's got to win soon.
Majors. I mean, gotta be the Masters, right?
Somebody just makes one more shot than him every week right now. Is how it feels like, right? I mean, and that's tough to swallow, especially.
But I mean, it was like backdoor top 10s. Now it's like top 10s. Now it's like contending to win.
Yeah, like top 5s, top 4s.
I think it could be the Masters. I think he's my go-to guy at the Masters right now. I mean, it's just.
I love that.
I mean, there's anyone else. I mean, Victor Hovland kind of was early, but then he kind of got his wins where they weren't majors. He got hot at the wrong time of the year over the winter.
There's another guy though, Hovland, that's like three holes away from just winning 4 times this year.
Yeah,
and it's always short game. It's always short game, which always boggles my mind with the pros because you see some pros that are just so darn good from a bunker or rough or whatever around the green, and then you see a guy like Hovland, and it's like you're good at everything.
Straightforward bump and run and just not close.
Right,
but yet you get him like a 200-yard 6-iron from a par 5. It's right on the hole. Because why not?
It's nuts. Davis Riley, I get to know that name. 26th time on tour, won his 26th tournament in the hunt. The fact that he didn't fold after that quad bogey. It was quad bogey, wasn't it?
I didn't see that name.
Damn. Joe, if you're watching, hook me up because Matt's handling a customer. But it was either a quad or a trip bogey that put him down 2.
Right.
From a 2-shot lead down 2. And it was, he battled back and played well on Sunday, and that's huge. And a kid that age, that few tournaments in, keep an eye on him. He's going to win some tournaments, man. If that didn't make him crumble, keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I believe it.
Matt Naismith, so you didn't watch much of it?
Not really. I mean, I watched the very end of Sunday.
Okay.
But yeah.
So they talked about a lot because he played really well Thursday and Friday, kind of hung around over the weekend. He came out publicly and was like, I'm just not getting in my own way anymore. I battle my emotions, I battle my, self-talk, and from here on out, I'm going to just do me, and I'm going to play well, and I'm going to have fun. And it showed. He looked like a guy that was having fun, even on Sunday when he was fighting for the lead. Didn't look like any misses or anything, took him out.
Joe said, welcome back, guys. 1 year in business, huge. What about JT getting chipped?
Oh, yeah, getting chirped, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess this guy is trying to tell JT how to play his short game shot, right? So he walks up, he's like, hey, you got to hit a bumper and run here. It's been fast. As if JT hasn't realized by playing 70 holes at Innisbrook that the greens are fast.
That is so just classic golfer dad, right? And it might not even be a dad, but it's just that golfer dude is the better word for it, right?
That's the same parent that comes up after a game and be like, oh, in the 6th inning when it was a 1-2 count, you really should have thrown a curveball there.
Right,
same exact guy, 100%.
God, do I know that all too well? Oh, man.
Meanwhile, you won the game 15-2 anyway.
I can't even fathom saying something like that to, especially a guy like JT.
Literally, there are, 3 other players in the world that you could – there's only 3 people in the world that could tell JT, outside of an instructor, to what to do, and they're probably 1, 2, and 3 in the world, because I'm pretty sure he's 4. So, I mean, probably shouldn't be trying to tell Jay. He's probably going to start 7 different shots there.
Right.
So,
well, and that's the crazy part. We'll talk about it a little bit later when we talk about how's your game, because I'm going to talk about short game a little bit. But my big thing that is just so incredible with pros is how many shots, like you were just saying, around the green they have. Yeah. Right? Okay, can hit a flop off any body. I can't. Yeah. I need that fluffed up. I want to get the club underneath it. I'm a pretty good short game player. Like, just that. Joe, I love it.
Yeah, they have an arsenal, no doubt about it.
That's about all I really have on the Valspar. Sam Burns is a guy that just continues. He is not playing this week in the Dell Match play.
Was that because he won last week?
I think so, because he was on the original list.
So, I mean, I'm only surprised that he won because his play has been so poor of late. But at the same time, he was defending, and you know how high I am on Sam Burns. Like, he, can do it all. He's a very well-rounded player. So when you go to somewhere like Innisbrook where it's so demanding, then why not? Why not get that dub? But I'm excited. I love that they've aligned this tournament with the March Madness now. That makes so much more sense. And
it's a ton of fun. The Sam Burns thing, just before we jump off of that, he missed 3 straight cuts. I believe he was just worn out. Like, some of these guys, I mean, I can't imagine playing Thursday through Sunday, 5-6 straight weeks, and the toll that it takes, not just
all across the country.
Right, yeah. I mean, you're traveling, and then just the emotional roller coaster. Like, you're trying to make a ton of money in 4 days. Like, that is a ton of pressure. I mean, I know these guys are probably more on top of it than most, but, that just seems difficult.
Joe said, what about that last round at AP? I know you missed last week, but what about that last round at AP?
The Arnold Palmer?
Yeah.
We talked about the Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, or at the players.
Players.
We did not talk about the players. We need to talk about the players for a minute. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Joe's on top of his game, man. He is our best listener. Yeah. Sorry, Daniel Bowman. Joe just chimes in all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, the players. I had Cam Smith once again. I was awfully close to having a couple of really big guys hit. But I'm on that Cam Smith train. We know
10
that.
birdies. How about that? I mean,
he at one point had 1 par
through like
14 holes.
Or something. Yeah, something nuts. But I mean, that guy can putt it on the Florida grass. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And that's a real skill, because I've talked about the entire Florida swing is trying to putt in Florida.
Yep.
With all that green, it's really hard to kind of get an idea of the slope. Reading putts with how shiny the grass is not something you have to consider here in Pennsylvania. But down in Florida, that's something
That's a great point.
I mean, like, if the grass is shiny, it means you're down green, it's going to be fast. If it's dull, you're putting into it. Then you're going cross green. Then you got to figure out the slope. It's just impossible to make putts down there. And for whatever reason, that he's just like dialed in. I guess he's just good at golf or something. But
I want to point out the absurd balls on him on hole 17.
No, that was a push.
I don't know, man. I was right at it. That is a gutsy shot, whether it's a push or not.
He'll never admit it, but he was definitely aimed like center of the green and then just push that. I mean, no way he ends up between the right side of the green and that.
I don't think he was looking between the pin and the water. I think he was looking more middle of the green.
That was a really good miss, is what I think.
Hey, man, better lucky than good.
Joe said, what about the unlucky break from Paul Casey? What are your thoughts there? Should he have been able to lift clean in place?
Oh, that's a great question. So we can post the question so people see it when they come in. Just
show it. Sounds good.
It'll pop up.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Terry. We got Tyreek on the executive producer today. Welcome. But that's a tough one. So the Paul Casey one, I think he got hosed a little bit. It's similar to what happened to no, it's a similar situation. So I don't know. I think he should have been allowed. But
what was the situation? I missed that.
Joe, do you want to throw the whole situation out there? I'm trying to. I remember hearing about it. Do you remember, Matt? Matt, jump.
What, ball rolls into literally a pitch mark. Like
right.
It wasn't a divot. It was a pitch mark where a ball had landed so steep and it was so soft out there and it made it. And you just watched Paul Casey's ball roll, and it
sat
halfway disappears. For a minute.
So yeah, how do you feel about that? So it's not a divot. It's actually a pitch mark where a ball went in. So it's like a long shot came in. It's a par 5, wasn't it? So it's like the second shot on a par 5 plugs, right?
That was his drive.
I know. I'm talking
You're
about what
saying
he landed in.
into his second. You're saying he was about to hit his second shot.
Yes, but he landed in somebody's ballpark. Yeah. Is basically
And
what
somebody's
I'm
drive. Yeah.
So where do you sit with that? Just unlucky?
Bad break. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, if the rule, he's got to keep it there, then that's the rule, right? I mean, like, and it's soft, and you're gonna get
it's
bad
tough because
lies.
they were playing lift clean in place most of the week.
So what are the rules with lift clean in place? Because they were playing that rule that week.
Yeah.
So like they announce it before the round starts, and then if they keep it day after day, but usually it lasts like a day, and then the next day they're back to play it as advised. Another interesting one that happened last week. What was the tournament last week? Why can't I remember? Wasn't
Valspar?
Valspar. Yeah,
Valspar.
Valspar. Yeah. JT and the taking a week off as we all. JT and the OB fence. Did you see that? So it's an OB fence. So if it was a stake, you'd be able to move the stake.
You can't move OB. Yeah.
But it would just be a stake, right?
Yeah.
So like now it's a fence.
Yeah.
Okay, marking the OB line. He's not OB.
Yeah, I know. But even if it was an OB post, you still can't move it.
Understood.
Yeah, so.
But it's an entire fence now instead of just posts. And what he's saying is if it wasn't the tournament, there wouldn't be a fence there. Like, so it's a temporary object, and you can move temporary objects.
Not if it's OB. Not if it's marking OB. You can, anything marking OB is a permanent structure essentially because.
But it's not a permanent structure, is what they're saying. So like that was the art, but there are still white stakes.
Yeah.
Okay,
but,
so the only reason the fence was up was not to mark OB. The reason the fence was up is so people would go in yards.
Okay, well then you should be able to move that
right.
in my opinion. But if it's
on the same line
if they're deeming that's an addition to the OB, like so what sucks is like you have a hazard stake, right? You pull it up, you hit, you put it back. OB stake, you can't do that. It sucks to suck.
It's because you're
But at the end of the day, don't be by the OB. Like,
fair.
You know what I mean? Like if you I don't that's what pisses me. Like when people are like complaining about bunker conditions or conditions of hazard or something. Like, well, you shouldn't be there. So don't complain to me about being 75 yards off the fairway and be like, I should be able to move this fence. I'm
going to remember that next time I play with Tommy.
Don't be 75 yards off the fairway. I mean, no. I mean, like, even bunkers. People are like, oh, these bunkers suck. I'm like, well, it is a hazard. So, shouldn't probably be there. But I don't know. I have a hard time with people complaining when they're out of position. Like Paul Casey, I can totally understand. It's like, I drove this down the middle of the fairway. I'm supposed to have the best lie possible in the game of golf. And now I'm in someone's pitch mark. Yeah, is it unfair? Yeah, but if that's the rule, then yeah, you got to play it. And, you get bad, that's part of golf, right? You get bad bounces, you get bad lies.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have just as easily been in a divot or something, And
Yep.
that sucks. And is that probably a rule they should change? Yeah, but, that's also like saying, oh, we should just play lift clean in place 365 days a year round. And I don't know.
Well, not with the JT situation.
No, the JT with the Paul Casey situation.
So, the weird thing about the JT situation is, there was a tournament in which 25 people picked up a freaking boulder and moved it for Tiger Woods to hit.
Have more fans like Tiger Woods fans.
Well, no, I agree.
If he had more Tiger Woods fans, he'd have people
was Phoenix
with
Open.
the face
That
down.
wasn't
Yeah.
Phoenix.
That was Phoenix.
But I don't know. It's just a weird situation because there are other parts of that hole where there's not a fence there. Along the OB. So just something.
So the question is the issue with the fence because you can't actually swing.
Yeah, he couldn't take a full swing.
Okay.
So there's nothing in the rule book that says your club head cannot leave the play,
Right. Yeah.
OB, right? So, but here he's back now. He ended up birdieing the hole, so it's really not a huge.
Really
shouldn't
be.
That's where I disagree with JT there, but I do think they should change the rule of in the middle of the fairway because you can't what if you are Paul Casey, you're close to the top of the leaderboard, fairways are perfect when the day starts. That is another player's ball mark, they didn't have to deal with that in the morning. Why don't you just change that? That to me is crazy because that is from another player.
So we're just
at
going to
that
roll the
point.
ball everywhere now in the fairway.
No. If you land in a divot or pitch mark like that, I feel like you should be able to at least
Then
roll it.
Where's
So
that line? How many Patrick divots are Patrick Reed going to end up in? You know, like
I see that's that fine line
I
where
had to
you
play it
walk
off
it.
Frankenstein's fat foot.
yeah. So, I don't know. It's just
Joe brings up a very good point. Actually, it's not a good point. Ty's been drinking on his week off hiatus. You have not been.
I haven't. I actually haven't had a drink in 9 days, and in 9 days I've lost 10 pounds.
And Joe made a good point. He says, Matt, we need to see that face on camera. Sorry, buddy. Not today.
Oh, you got the haircut and everything. You're looking slick.
I did.
You look good. All right, so let's move on to the Dell Match Play. This is such a fun tournament because it's a different format. It's it's basically the NCAA tournament, but it's for golf. We've got the WGC Dell Match Play. The field includes 64 of the top 74. And are you serious? Get out of here! Just go. Eric Urban making an appearance in the shop today. A longtime friend, shares a birthday with those. The field includes 64 of the top 74 in the latest official golf rankings. When it starts tomorrow, by the way. Don't forget it's a 5-day tournament if you're making your bets.
right. Yep.
March 23rd to the 27th at Austin Country Club in Austin, Texas. Par 71. Short course 71.08. Purse is $12 million. Winner will get 2.1.
Serious.
They are. They're starting to get for real. Defending champions Billy Horschel. I put in here. He snuck up on the field last year. This year he's going to be sneaking back into the field, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the best part of the year, right, for golf? Because we had the players. Now this week, last week was a pretty strong field. Now you're getting 64 of the top 74 guys. Definitely one of the more difficult tournaments to just pick a winner out the gate for sure.
So it's
because you gotta hope that your guy makes it into the greater bracket eventually here.
So I mean, it's a lot of fun though because there's a lot more bets to make. Right. So scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now, I have my picks for group winners. I think there's 2 down there that I have 2 guys selected for a group. So I'd bet Kisner and Thomas because Thomas is just so hot right now. Kisner got a crappy field.
So coming in from Joe, I absolutely love this style. I had this discussion on my podcast last year. Do you think one of the majors should be this style? Maybe the PGA Championship. What are your thoughts?
It's a good question. I don't like. My opinion is I would keep the majors the same. I'd like to see more of this. Yeah. I'd like to see more match play or Ryder Cup style events. I don't want to mess with the majors. The majors are a proven commodity.
I think there's just too much on the line, especially from a legacy standpoint, where you lose one match, you're basically out. You know what I mean? So I think that the majors, there's too much riding on them to have to be you could have one bad round, it's all over.
Well, I mean, it's
not even a bad round. You could just get a bad matchup. Because what happens then if for instance, Kisner, Kisner's a great match play guy. Well, Justin Thomas is playing one of the best golfing now. But then he gets put into a pool with Kisner, who's one of the hardest guys to knock out in match play. Yep. That doesn't mean that Justin Thomas is not he could play 3 great rounds, go 2-1, and Kisner goes 3-0, and now he's out. And he could have shot 62, 62, 62, and not made it. So I don't know. I think it's a fun format. I love match play. Better ball match play is what I like to do with my buddies. $5 or $10 2 downs. Especially when I'm feeling frisky. Obviously, always presses are on because we're trying to make some money here out on the golf course. Obviously, but I think it's a good thing to have once a year.
I'd like to see it more than once a year. I wouldn't want to make it to a major, but I love it as a couple times a year. I think you could do 4 of them, right? You could do one in the fall swing, one,
But you can't make it all just the top 64 of them.
No. I mean, you can make a couple of invitationals, right?
Yeah.
The tough thing, you're going to have trouble with players that don't want it because it's 5 days. So maybe you don't do group play. Maybe you make it a small field event. Maybe you turn something like the Hero into this, right? Or the TOC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those beginning of the year events instead of a mainstream event that you're going to have 64 players at, right?
I think they should do 164 players. No, wait, one second. Let me do the math on this real quick. I think that they should do 128 players, and you have to play 36 holes a day. Just keep going. It's like March Madness, right? So like you have to turn around and play your next match in 2 days. Like you win your first, like you've been planning for your first round matchup for weeks, and then you get to have to turn around and play your second round. So it's like you've been planning to play this one guy for the whole time, and then bang, go right back out, and then you have a night off, then you go right back out. It's all about endurance.
I'd be worn out.
And the winner would obviously be Harry Higgs because he is a physical specimen.
He would fit into our forces really well. A couple of notes that I just wrote down on picking this tournament. I love the rookies. Okay, like the rookies are coming in here. They're used to playing full field. Like they're not used to playing in an event where like all you got to worry about is the guy across from you. And for some guys, that takes pressure off. Like I'd much rather play in tournaments like that. Like instead of thinking like, oh God, there's 120 other guys that I'm playing against. I'm just playing you today. And you know what? I'm a pro golfer too. I don't care if you're Justin Thomas. Today, I might be. And I think that helps rookies. I've seen that written down a couple of places online, a couple of places like
that's
Justin.
huge, right? Because I mean, like, think about like Sebastian Munoz, just because he's on the top page here, right?
Yeah.
Like he played fantastic just a few weeks ago.
Bye, Eric.
But how many times do they come out after the first round and maybe Sebastian Munoz is ahead of Justin Thomas? And in this event, that's all that matters. It's just like, yeah, I mean, if we had to play 3 more rounds against each other, you're probably going to get me, but not today, sir.
Well, it's kind of like that leader after one bet that some of our guys like to make, and I've made a couple of times. Like those guys that come out fast, this is a great tournament for.
Yep.
It's why I like guys like Daniel Berger. Looking for good putters and scramblers at Austin Country Club, and accuracy over length are a couple of the notes I've got.
Yeah, I mean, putting is it's all about match play. It's putting, right? So, I mean, the guy misses his par putt, like you've got 10 feet for birdie. You got to make that more times than not. You got to take advantage of those situations. So, putting is the number one key in match play.
Yeah,
and other than that, I think it's greens and reg and putting, right? So. When I've always been taught playing match play, I've probably said on the podcast before, is if you hit 18 greens, it's going to be really hard for them to lose a hole. Like you're hard pressed to lose a hole. You're going to make those guys go and take them from you.
Exactly.
So, if you're missing the green, now you have to get up and down just to have. That's, there's a lot easier to give away holes with bogeys that way.
So I'll run down the top 50 guys that I made some comments on. I didn't do all top 50 this week.
Do you want to go through the groups, or do you want to do that? Just who we got in each group.
How about you go through the groups, and then I have my notes on players, and All right.
So we got group 1. We got Rahm, Reed, Cameron Young, and Sebastian Munoz.
So like with Rahm right now, I think Rahm will win that group. Top 5 here last year.
Group.
And but his last 3 starts haven't exactly been Rahm-esque.
No.
He has not putted the ball well. I think he's happy to get out of Florida. If he putts it, he'll be in it. If he's not in it this week, though, is it time to worry about John Rahm? Like if he gets knocked out,
not this tournament, I don't think so. I think
but I mean,
what we said, anything can happen.
How good he is in the Ryder Cup and these types of situations, I feel
I'm
like
just saying, look, the putter's not there, and we just said how important putting is.
Yep.
I saw Sebastian Munoz shoot like 62 at Players, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And Patrick Reed even played well for Players. My personal pick out of this group is Patrick Reed. I think he takes down Rahm, and he's talking about great Ryder Cup players.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, if I'm taking anybody this week, it's Patrick Reed.
So, in this group.
Yeah.
So, I went through all the groups. I picked 2 guys. One's, so I took Rahm and I took Cameron Young.
You went the exact opposite of what I just said.
So, basically, I took Cameron Young because of the rookie thing. This is the first time in the tournament. He's been playing good golf. And if he knocks down any of the guys, even Sebastian Munoz in this group, he's just going to be playing on borrowed time, right? Like if he makes his way out of group 1, like what's he have to lose? And a guy with nothing to lose is a scary guy.
Yeah. So I'm taking Patrick Reed, Sebastian Munoz. You're taking Rahm and Young. Good start for me because I'm usually the right one.
You won a bet last week.
Yeah. Live bet.
All right, so Group 2, we've got Morikawa, Kokrak, Garcia, Robert McIntyre. So
This is a living group. Morikawa did not get any favorites with this.
no, I like Morikawa and Garcia in this group. I know 2 people don't come out if you're just tuning in. I'm just taking 2 in each group that I like to win. I wanted to pick Robert McIntyre so badly.
Yeah, but he is. I will not bet on Robert McIntyre until he shows me he can do something on U.S. soil.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Kokrak doesn't light it up enough to get out of this, I don't think.
I'm off the Kokrak train right now.
As you should.
I'm sure Joe has something to say about
Did you
Kokrak.
see Ricky Fowler in the bracket at all, or does he have a Rocket Mortgage commercial to shoot?
Definitely a Rocket Mortgage commercial to shoot for Ricky this week, Joe. Definitely a Rocket Mortgage commercial.
I'm going to be honest. I don't see, even with how strong a group this is, I don't see how Colin Morikawa doesn't get out.
The only guy that knocks him off would be Sergio Garcia. Sergio tied 5th last year. He's a great match play player, and he's that guy that can.
I'm tired of Sergio.
I am too, but he just keeps showing up.
You know, I mean,
He certainly
but
is.
he's someone that's like, we always say yes, like, you got to keep an eye out for, but like, do you really have to keep an eye out for him anymore? I don't know. So I
You
think
said that this week, so now he's going to go
so
line
I
up.
am going with Morikawa. I mean, look, I'm going to
Same.
go.
Yeah.
Can I grab that pen, Tyree, real quick? I'm going to mark all these. I'm going to bet. We're going to see who gets a better percentage.
I like it. I like it.
I'm going. So I got Reed and Morikawa.
I can also write it down for you when I go back to edit.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Already.
I'm over prepared every time. Thanks, Terry.
I'm just marking my guys that I'm taking.
Yep. Group 3, we've got Hovland, Zalatoris, Tringali, and Straka. It was hard for me not to take Straka. It wasn't hard not to take Tringali because, boy, he's the greatest golfer that's never done anything
He's
according to our
literally,
stats.
statistically, he's the greatest golfer of all time. Yet somehow has translated into no wins like anywhere ever. So
You got a comment on Kokrak here.
All right.
The Kokrak train is heading north following the Polar Express. The guy is ice cold.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Was that Joe again?
You got it.
My guy Joe. Joe, we're off the Kokrak train together. I got Hovland and Zalatoris in Group 3.
Zalatoris can't putt well enough. I'm taking Hovland. I'd be more pressed to take Sepp Straka.
Well, are you taking one a group or 2?
I'm taking one.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying who I think is going to win each group. But I mean, I might bet on Straka like as a long shot. Anyway, so.
Group 4, we've got Cantley, M, Power, and Mitchell.
How is Seamus Power still in this tournament?
Patrick Cantley is going to win that group. And I don't like M or Mitchell in this format. Seamus Power could get lucky just because a big bogey's not going to kill you.
I'm going to go in a different direction here.
You taking my guy Keith Mitchell?
I'm taking your guy Keith Mitchell. I think
I keep saying I got.
There's literally no reason why Cantley shouldn't win this,
Right.
and that's what scares me. The fact that it should be a cakewalk, but Keith Mitchell has played really well through the Florida swing.
Yes, he has.
And just for the sake of switching it up and just not taking the obvious pick, I'm going to say Keith Mitchell in that group. So
I think you'll be surprised with who I took in Group 5. We got Scotty Scheffler, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, Ian Poulter.
you got Tommy Fleetwood.
All right.
Tommy Fleetwood.
He played well at the Players for 2 days.
Scotty Scheffler should never be allowed to play in this tournament again.
I did not take Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah. You take Fitz, or are you going Ian?
I like Ian Poulter in this
Okay.
group. Ian Poulter's just that guy who's a pain in the ass in a format like match play, and he's going to wear pants that pisses his playing partner off. And Fitzpatrick's another guy I've highlighted here, but
Fleetwood played really good at the Players.
he did. Listen. I actually think this is the most entertaining group to watch.
The odds say it right there. I mean, how hard it is to say who's going to win.
That's a really entertaining group, and I mean, Ian Poulter plus 450 is a steal.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, those are the best odds. Like legitimate odds you're going to get in pool play at least. So.
Group 6: Justin Thomas, Kevin Kisner, Mark Leishman, Luke List. I mean, you got to go Thomas here, and then Kisner's a secondary case.
Kisner got a bad break there because generally I would take him in front of, if he was in Scheffler's group, I'd take him there. I'd probably even take him in Cantlay's group. But the way that Dustin Thomas is playing right now, you just can't not take him.
Group 7, Schauffele, Finau, Herbert, Takumi Kanaya, I think is how you say his last name. Kanaya.
That's a terrible.
Dude, Tony Finau is just really a shell of himself right now. I like Lucas Herbert here.
Yeah,
I took Schauffele in my actual bracket just because I think he's good enough to get out of the first grouping.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Joe said JT goes down. I'm taking the Georgia Bulldog Kisner
Attaboy, Joe.
and the lawn care guy Mark Leishman.
Mark Leishman.
I don't see how Schauffele doesn't make it out of this group.
He
As
should.
much as I dislike Schauffele, I mean he'll lose in the round of 8 or something.
The only thing that would scare me if I was Schauffele is the two rookies, Herbert and Kanaya. I mean, both those guys are good players. They play a lot.
Schauffele's B game should get him out of this.
It should.
Yeah.
It absolutely should. But we also know that Schauffele doesn't know how to close.
But this is different. This is like round 1.
Yeah.
Even the third match of this is all.
Yep.
Just
getting through it.
Yeah.
Group 8, DJ, Homa, Wolf, Hughes, Homa for the win.
Look, Homa's coming off a historic win against foreplay. Okay, never ever has it happened that a professional has beaten the foreplay in this 4-man scramble versus one professional match.
Yep.
Our guy Kevin Kisner couldn't get it done. You know,
couldn't do it.
Pat Perez couldn't get it done.
Kisner was probably also trashed.
Yeah.
So was
But
Perez.
coming off recently shot, just such a major, 4 down with 10 to play. I mean, what a historic,
God, the four
one
guys
for-
are living the fucking dream.
one for the storybook. I mean, Dustin Johnson hasn't played golf in 7 years, apparently.
He's played the last 3 weeks, and his game has gotten increasingly better. I mean, he's
But-
not a bad pick in this
But
tournament.
I mean, compared to he's still in the I'm getting ready for the majors mode.
Yep.
And then Matt Wolf, God, that guy doesn't know how to hit a golf ball right now. Kenzie Hughes, I have nothing bad to say about, but I like Max Homa out of that group. I like Max Homa to do really well. Period.
I do too. The interesting thing about DJ is he's starting to look like majors DJ, and this could
DeChambeau's
be,
actually playing.
everything I found points to yes. So I have Gooch coming out of that.
Yeah, love that.
Out of that group. I also think if it isn't Gooch, it's going to be Lee Westwood. I don't think it's going to be DeChambeau.
What about Dick Bland?
I love Dick Bland. I love Dick Bland. I mean, the 51
I love the fact that he's here.
Yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
51-year-old comes and plays. Group 10, Paul Casey. He's got 7 top 10s at this tournament.
Corey Connors hasn't done much lately.
I will tell you,
Alex Noren's a tough
I'm
knockout.
just
though.
going to say Alex Noren is a guy that you want to pay a little bit of attention to. He's I forget. I wrote something about him on the.
Paul Casey is that guy who comes out first and second round. I'm circling both. It's a
What did I write
tough
about
decision.
T12 at the Valspar and likes this event a lot. The odds will be awesome, and you can see here they are plus 300, the highest in the group. Group 11, Spieth, Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Keegan Bradley. I wouldn't tune into this group.
Joe said he got Bradley. He loves this group.
He loves this group. I wouldn't tune into this group if somebody held my eyes on
Those
two
are
picks.
literally two of your least favorite people to watch ever.
Justin Rose and Adam Scott. Yeah, I can't. I just can't. I can't stand watching Adam Scott putt, even though he's putting really well this year. I took Spieth out of this group, but Keegan Bradley is a good pick, Joe. I like it. He's back right now.
I agree with Joe on this one. I'm taking Keegan Bradley. I mean, he almost
agree.
won the Players.
Yeah.
I mean, no one. When is Keegan Bradley going to get his respect?
He's also a guy that makes a ton of birdies.
Yeah.
And
But he's a
makes
major-
a ton of bogies, but in
Major
match plays.
champ. I mean, the last 3 years. I mean, he won a playoff event in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He almost won the Players a couple weeks ago. And somehow was not on a single shot of the coverage, but he was right there.
They showed him a good bit at the end when he was in the hunt.
But man, everyone always makes fun. At least all the guys working here always make fun of Keegan Bradley. They're like,
I
say how terrible he is.
I like Bradley.
I
He's
thought
a
came
good
over
player.
Spieth to come out of here.
Group 12, Horschel, Peters, Hoagie, Moon Lee, or Wu Lee. I like Hoagie out of that group.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm taking Horschel. I mean, this is his event.
He's getting knocked out in the first round.
But Tom Hoagie is definitely staying hot. I mean, he almost scared me to death when I thought he was going to win the Players because
It was getting like,
because I
well, remember I picked him in the podcast, and then I didn't bet on him.
didn't bet on
I mean, I'm glad I
well,
did.
I went as far to say that he was like he had his 15 minutes of fame, and I was just waiting for that clip to get posted somewhere after Hoagie wins the Players. But
Who
thankfully-
would do that too?
But that didn't happen, thankfully. I like Horschel to come out. I mean, Minwoo Lee is nasty, but he hasn't really done anything.
He's played really poorly. I was looking at his stats. It has not been a good run for him.
Yeah.
Group 13, Hattenberger, Siwoo Kim,
First
Christian
with
Gesundheit.
first person with the best odds or worst odds isn't actually the highest player.
Yep. So I like Berger here, though.
Yeah.
This fits him. Group 14,
This is
Neiman,
a tough group.
yeah, Neiman, Henley, McNeely. Year of Neiman, baby.
Neiman, McNeely just coming off that really good week. But yeah, Joaquin's been playing really well.
And Kevin Na has not been playing a lot. The other two guys don't scare me.
Yeah. McNeely just gets me with like, will he be hot still from last week?
Right.
Or is he just like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm not taking Neiman. I'm taking McNeely.
All right.
Taking the Strixon guy.
Answer, Simpson, Harmon, Watson. Brian Harmon loves this tournament. He is my pick to win the tournament.
Oh my! How many times are you going to say that? In your lifetime?
I know.
You're 100% correct.
I am this week. It's going to happen. I wrote it down here for my boy Brian.
But Bubba also loves this event.
I was like, all right, let me have it, fellas. But he loves this event. It's looked really good the last couple of weeks. Harmon will contend this week and will win.
Bubba, I think Bubba comes out of this group.
All right, I like it.
He does really well in this event as well.
Group 16, we've got Koepka, Lowry, Varner III, and Van Rooyen.
Wow, that's an ugly group. He's third on the list, probably 97th in my heart. But Carl Varner III will come out of this group. You're first. Been playing really good golf for
EVR,
months
baby.
now. And
EVR.
another guy who probably doesn't get enough credit. Not quite, probably more deservingly so doesn't get credit than Keegan Bradley. But so let me just run through, Ty. Would like to remind you of all 16 winners out of these groups. Patrick Reed taking down John Rahm.
Stop it.
Colin Morikawa coming out on top. Big.
You just
do I take
sick.
Straka or
Hi,
Hovland?
Ty.
I have them both marked. I'm going to say Hovland over Straka. Straka let me down. He almost got me a top 5 of the Players and then did. Keith Mitchell coming all the way out of the bottom. Tom Fleetwood giving them that Fleetwood. All right. Justin Thomas continuing his dominance. Xander Schauffele will make it out of the group and immediately choke in the round of 8.
Oh,
Max
boy.
Homa, coming off his hot win against Foreplay, will make it out of this group because just riding that high. Keegan Bradley doesn't get enough credit. Should deserve more credit. Billy Horschel will not sneak up on the group. Will sneak up on the golf ball. Daniel Berger, he's going to give them those nasty burgers, baby. He's coming in hot. He's been playing great. And, he will have a chew-in for sure. Matt McNeely, dethroning the year of Neiman. And last but not least, Bubba Watson, lefty. He will swing the ball all over the place, which means he will mess with people's brains and get out of that group somehow. And finally, Harold Varner III will make Jordan proud by getting him out of group play into the Sweet 16. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are your 16 winners of this tournament.
I left this up on the screen for way too long. Joe said, there he is. Man, that face gets prettier and prettier by the episodes. Joe, we love
Are
you.
in there now?
I am.
Oh,
I am. I had to give him a little
Had to give him a little.
what's up.
So I've got, if anybody's interested, my bracket that I filled out that is for the money, right? The best bracket for the money. So not necessarily the guys that at least one of the 2 guys I picked from each group. Round of 16, Rahm versus Lowry. Lowry takes down Rahm. Gooch versus Homa. Homa takes down Gooch. Fitz versus Hoagie. Fitz takes down Hoagie. Berger versus Cantlay. Berger wins. Fitz Berger. Fitz wins. Lowry Homa. Lowry wins. Fitz Lowry. Fitz wins to play in the finals. On the right side of the bracket, I've got Morikawa Harmon in the round of 16. Harmon wins. Casey against Shoffley. Casey wins. Kisner versus Spieth. Kisner wins. Neiman versus Hovland. Hovland wins. Kisner versus Hovland. Kisner wins. Harmon versus Casey. Harmon wins. Harmon versus Kiz. Harmon wins. Harmon versus Fitz. Harmon wins. Those
are the best odds.
That is the best for the money, in my opinion, of actually getting out. Right? Like,
so you're not saying just based on the odds here?
No, I mean, obviously Rom's not the best odds, right? Like, so this is, in my opinion, the best value bracket you can get to make a good bit of money.
How many brackets are you making this week? Just out of curiosity.
So
I made one for the NCAA tournament, and I picked St. Mary's to win.
How's that working for you?
Oh God, no!
He says, "Oh God, no."
I did get money on I had St. Peter's beating Kentucky. That was impressive.
So I'm looking. Anywho, Matt joins the show and throws something at me right out the gate.
Love you, Uncle Pi. Don't beat me later, please.
What's that?
Don't beat me later, please.
I'm only on the call.
That's right.
Although I didn't the other day.
You did. You came out $5 in the positive. That's a win.
That's a win, I guess.
It is.
So, moving on to our next topic. Today we're going to talk about how's your game, what's your game looking like, where are we at?
Oh, boy.
Matt joined just in time for that. And after that, we'll jump into we'll talk about a course. Everybody will talk about a course they just played.
Joe wants us to talk a little bit about Phil not attending Augusta this year. I kind of saw that one coming.
Did that become official today?
It did.
Okay.
He has no business being in the spotlight right
I
now.
think he's doing the right thing.
That's the best decision for golf, not just the Masters. I know
Well, it's a business decision on his end.
He needs to just go away for a little bit.
Yep.
And he would be soiling part of the Masters if he showed up and made that a story.
I agree 100%. I'm happy that somebody or himself is giving him good advice to stay away this year. He has not been a help to himself, and I think that this is a good decision. You're filling out your bracket.
Yeah, I'm going to give you my
Let's go there in a second.
You want my final four?
Sure.
Homa, Berger, Morikawa, JT. Morikawa, JT. JT wins. Homa takes down Berger. In an upset, Homa wins it all.
Love it.
There you go.
I love it. I love that bracket.
In typical JT fashion of late, will contend.
Till the end. Contend till the end. Yeah.
There we go.
So, I mean, I know you're a little hobbled right now, but how's the game? What are you working on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably out for a week or two with my ankle, but recently played at Ben Creek in just the member tees, about 6,300 yards. Hit 14 greens and shot 77. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Was it the putter?
Yeah, putter. I mean, the greens were still aerated, so there's that. But didn't feel like I got it started online very well. Driver feels excellent. I feel like I have complete control of the golf ball at this moment, which is really fun. I can work it both ways at the moment. I feel like my distances are fairly dialed in, except for maybe a little bit with the new wedges, not a little bit as much. So that's something I want to work on, which will be good because I can start that out. As soon as my ankle's better, I can start working on that again. So I think if I can get just full wedge shots and putting going, it could be a really, really fun year because the driver feels great. Driver's finally, from a equipment standpoint, where we want it, hitting some absolute bombs. It's been fun. The irons feel flushed. I feel really, really good about my long game, which was my biggest thing. And as you'd expect, maybe some of that touch and feel that you don't get over the practice as much over the winter is what needs to happen. And that's just a matter of hitting the putting green a few times a week, and we'll be good.
Awesome. I've played a good bit here over the last 2 weeks. Last week was kind of a tale of two stories. So went up to Fox Chase with Sawyer here and shot 75 and probably should have shot 71. I had 2 3 putts. And I also had one just anomaly, like just weird shot that like I still can't explain it. It just I don't know, but played well though. 3 over par at Fox Chase the first time out up there, not bad. But then 2 days later, played Crossgates with Matt, and the difference in green speeds from Fox Chase to Crossgates for this time of year was insane. Crossgates was lightning fast. I mean, like 10 or 11. It was nuts. I know you played out there. How quick was it a couple weeks
Wasn't
back?
that? I mean, they were quick,
Oh.
but they weren't scary fast.
Like going from Fox Chase, where like they were nice. They were they were.
But you had to hit it.
But you had to hit it. To Crossgates, I mean, Matt and I had a couple of putts on the first couple of holes where it was just like whoa, 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 and so I don't think it's a problem with my putter. It just took me 15 holes to really kind of dial myself in. And if I had it to do over again, probably would have hit the practice green a little longer. When you get to be my age with all the physical ailments I have to warm up. Like I have to hit the range and hit some balls, or I'm at risk of hurting myself when I get out on the course. But all in all, super happy with the game. Finding fairways, finding greens. I hit 14 greens at Fox Chase. So just feel really good about it, excited about it. The wedge game, my short game is always something I feel really good about. I'm always working at home because I have enough room to do it. So I mean, my big thing is fairways. If I'm in the fairway, I'm a dangerous player. It's when I get a little wayward off the tee that things can be a little difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have a lot of golf lined up this year, so I'm really
Same.
excited. Signed up for gap matches. If you're in the Philly section. It's like kind of country club or actually just golf course versus golf course. If you're a
Right.
member anywhere, whether it's a public track or not, or if that's just considered your home course, you can represent. If you don't think it's too late, you can still represent. Your local club, if it's Overlook here or whatever. I know they have a gap team. Fox Chase has a gap team. But I signed up to play there. I think we're getting. We have a Lehigh, I think, in our section, which is really exciting. I've played there twice in my life. Really great golf course. I'm hoping to get healthy so I can play there again in a few weeks. I signed up for the President's Cup, which out of Bent Creek is a season-long match play event. Plan on playing in all the Lanka events this year, as well as our league now.
League, yep.
Ty is joining the same Wednesday league as myself, possibly Andrew as well from Enjoy might
Oh,
also
yeah?
be joining. So
Nice.
that's a really fun league. We play a bunch of different courses, a lot of really nice country. We actually play almost a country club every other week at this point, which is really something that we're fortunate to get to do. And then I have 2 member guests, including my own, hopefully to play in, some members, and just really got some good golf lined up. So
I'm in the same boat, man. I'm extending my Lanco appearances this year. In years past, I did the match play last year, ton of fun. Got out of the first round, which was the ultimate goal for me. Then this year, I'm hoping to make it through the second round, right? Just continue to progress. Certainly plan to play in all of the team Lanco events, whether it's the Scramble or the Better Ball or whatever other events. But the Wednesday League is something I'm very excited for. I'm excited to have that atmosphere and that weekly competition. That's something that I'm pumped about.
yeah, I mean, I want to really take a run at the Better Ball again this year after we got second. John Kitsock and I got second. I'm excited to potentially make a run at that. Plan on playing the Open and AM, even though the AM's at Crossgates, which may not set up well for me. But I've had a couple people now say they're going to come take me out and help me around the course.
We should play Crossgates a little bit.
Hey guys, we have someone up front waiting to get rung out.
We should go to Crossgates. We can talk our way through that. That is my home away from home, which I'm sure we will. We'll get out there. All right, so let's do a little local course review. Where did you play recently that you want to talk about, or just a course in general?
I haven't played that much just because I've been busy, but I played Crossgates most recently outside of my round of Bend. I played Crossgates, and I was really, really pleasantly I don't want to say pleasantly surprised. I've never had a problem with Crosby's conditions. It's just how I've scored there that makes me angry. But it was in really good shape. It was apparently before they rolled the greens. But just for this time of year, we've had fairly good weather. But, come out and have greens that are really puttable at this time of year. And didn't have to smack it. Like you could roll the ball and still get it to the hole. Yep. So that was really good.
So I'll talk about Fox Chase today. Yeah. I know it's one of your favorites, but it's just a fun track, right? So the big knock on Fox Chase would be pace of play on a weekend, and where are you going to play? You're going to play from the tips. You're going to play from the blues. What are you going to do? And you can play from either, and it's still a fun course, right? So I believe if you go to Cool Creek's a good example. Because they only have red, white, and blue. If you play from the whites at Cool Creek, it is just significantly a different course than from the blues. Like the blues are, I think, 700 yards further, and it adds new tee boxes at Cool Creek. At Fox Chase, the only thing that really changes is clubs in. You still have to hit the same shots. You still have to be in the same positions, right? So I enjoy that aspect of it.
And my favorite part of that is that they have a championship set of tees, right?
Yep.
So, but like you said, it's fair for everyone. So realistically, if done right, you got you have a senior playing the whites, higher handicap playing the blues as a young guy, then your scratch guy playing the blacks.
Yep.
Should end up about the same spot and have a similar club in for that particular person. And I think that it's really a fair test, and I love it for the league, right? So especially how we're doing it this year with handicap determines what tee box you play. Is I think it should be a real if your higher handicap's playing the whites and your mid handicap's playing the blues and your scratch guy's playing the blacks, it should be a really fun test to see who's playing the best for their game that day. And I don't think it's an unfair advantage to play for the guy playing all the way in the back.
No, not. I mean, that's why you're the better handicap, right? So for me, it's been the handicap system in general has been tough for me because I am a perfect example of a guy who can play low. I can also play high. I've broken par a couple of times. I've shot par a couple of times, but I also last year had a round where I shot 88. So that's the cool part about this year though. I already am seeing the consistency is improving, right? So that's what it means to become a good handicap player, right? And playing from the backs doesn't bother me. It used to. I didn't on Wednesday last week just because it's so early in the year, and I'm, just trying to get myself back in the swing of things. So but I also didn't play driver off a lot of the tees. I was trying to play some position and work some things. Sawyer, on the other hand, just tried to offload on everything.
Did he play the backs or not?
He played. Right. Yeah. And we talked about it. I was like, listen, it's up to you. You can do what you want to do. But it was more just a Wednesday afternoon. We're going to go out, really first outside round that wasn't a Donegal or overlooking the slop and wet. Just trying to enjoy ourselves. And, next time up there, definitely be on the back tees and go to town. And I'll probably feel like I'll shoot the same thing. I don't think it's going to change much. But I was impressed with the kind of shape it was in for the time of year. I was surprised they didn't have tee markers out there. So
they didn't have any tees out.
None. Yeah. So that was another reason we played the blues. So where most of the blacks are, but it just was like, okay, we're right here. Let's just go. But I was surprised they didn't have anything out. I thought that was a little late to the party.
Yeah, I mean that's a topic I'd like to talk about is winter tees in general. I just don't. There's a couple things I don't like. I don't understand courses that don't put out tees at all because people are going to play from there anyway.
Yep.
So why not just put them out? And I understand courses want certain tee boxes to heal and stuff, but when they make the tee boxes almost the reds for everybody, it's I want to play a legitimate round of golf.
Right. I'm not trying to hit.
So I went down to Delaware a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Played Odessa National, which was a great club. But there was par fours. You were hitting 3 or 5 wood into the green from the tee box. You know what I mean? Right. So it's and that doesn't mean I shot. I shot 2 under. Probably should have shot better realistically. It was crazy windy, so there were some par fours where I was on or next to the green and won it, and there were other par fours where I was hitting driver wedge into some par fives because I was so downwind.
Right.
And then there were other holes where I was hitting driver 5-iron and a short par 4 back. So it was a little interesting, but I mean, it was
That's
definitely
also-
you want to see. I mean, I get it. You want to heal the tees and everything, but like if I'm paying to play golf, I want to play a legitimate yardage that's like fair, that's realistic for me. And I think there's got to be a better way to do it. Even if you want to have us hit from not on the tee box, but like some, I don't know.
Right.
Make a alternate tee box for the winner or something.
Winter golf's tough that way, right? Like, so we live in the Northeast. Like, you never know, right? So some of those courses are like, shit, we might have snow on the ground the entire winter and nobody gets out. Now, it hasn't been that way the last couple of winters, but, so you're talking about probably cut down ground staff, like cut back pro shop staff, like in the off season in this area. So I'm guessing that some of it has to do with that. But I'm with you. I think if you're going to charge me
Even $30.
right, I want to have a course out there to play. And that was the other weird thing about Fox Chase. And we had to hit off pads on the par threes. They had
I don't mind that though.
well, no, but like they were a little shorter than normal. Here's the disappointing part. You know why I was 3 over? Because the fucking par threes. They were all like just easy wedges, not easy wedge, like 9-iron or 8-iron. And I was 3 over on the par.
That's on you then. I mean, you got perfect lie. You got
Yeah,
shorter
100%.
than normal.
Well, the tough one was like hole 8. I almost broke my ankle because the thing wasn't like secure on the ground.
Yeah.
So I hit a shot and like almost fell over. Like it was just like,
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, but I don't mind. Okay, if it's done better, I don't mind something like that.
they needed it secure.
Because I mean, the whole point, right, is like par threes do get beat up
hell yeah.
all year long.
Yep.
I mean, you move the tee around a little bit, but generally speaking, like you're playing from the same area. Like you go to any par three that's a wedge in,
Yep.
and there's not even grass left by the end of the year. So they need to let that do some kind of healing, and I don't mind that. But I mean, if you're gonna do that, you need to do it right. I mean, look at like Pinehurst has a par three course where I think all year round it's just
Right.
turf.
Pads.
It's, it still doesn't mean it's not real golf or anything.
No.
It's just different. But I don't mind that. But I think it's just like make it like if you're gonna be open and you're going to say we're playing golf, like don't be like don't be like we're gonna play golf. Let's move from 5,500 yards, or we're gonna play golf, but like there's gonna be no tee boxes. Like I just like. If you're going to be open to some realistic capacity.
Well, and especially like when Sawyer and I went up, I mean, it was 72 degrees. I was in shorts and a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get your tee box down. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care if you do it first thing in the morning. Like, tell your grounds guy, listen, like, we're going to be packed today. Like, get the tee boxes out. Mark it off, make it look like a golf course. Yeah. But other than that, the course played great. It's going to be in good condition this year. You can tell already. And I'm with you. Crossgates was in really good shape. I could not get over the greens. I could not believe how fast they were. I was a little long on hole 1. I was up on the hill and had kind of an awkward chip down, but hit a good chip that landed like right on the fringe. And the pin was like front side of the green. And I was like, that's going to be really good. And it rolled so far. I mean, it was like, whoa. I mean, it was like mid-season fast.
Right, yeah.
I wasn't ready for it.
Just not prepared.
Not prepared. Just mentally was not there. So, all right. Well, I think we hit most of the notes today. Anything else you want to throw out there?
Max Owen going to win the match point.
Brian Harmon.
Okay.
Brian Harmon.
See who makes it further.
He's gonna bring home the money for me this week.
I want to put your 16 guys. I want you to pick one from each group, and we'll see who picks more.
I'll put my bracket that I read off of against yours.
Okay. Bet. We'll see who gets more. Cool. And also, Rotsbergen's still going to win a PGA Tour event this year. So.
No, he is. Well, if he's going to, it'll be this week at the Punta Cana.
I didn't say it was going to be
Yeah.
a regular. I said he was going to win a PGA Tour event.
He's going to go win a PGA Tour event that like Sawyer and Dan are playing in.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say if it's PGA sanctioned, it counts. So.
Anything you wanna plug here before we sign off?
Yeah, guys. I mean, getting into the golf season, we're getting real stocked up here at the store. We're bringing a lot of great new apparel. We're loaded up on shoes, golf balls. we're always fitting, as you know. But we're in a really good spot right now with stock, and I think we're really excited for golf season. I'm sure all of you guys are getting geared up as well. Be sure to stop down and see us. We just celebrated our 1 year of Pull the Pin here on Sunday, which was a really great day, and we celebrated that all last week. But now we're ready to turn the page on that, and we're ready to dive headfirst in the golf season. I hope you guys are too. And be sure to stop in. We've made a lot of changes over the winter, added the new short game area and everything. So if you're in the market for clubs, just passionate about golf in general, be sure to stop down here, Pull the Pin, and say what's up.
Yeah, I got to second that. It's been a fun year and a half getting to hang out at the store and do my little piece, whatever it is, whatever I can do to help. And it's just awesome to watch it grow from, we'll call me a fan, a store fan, to watch the store grow and what it brings and what it does for the community, the golf community specifically, but the community in general. So thank you and keep it up, and we're all pulling for you. Thank you to the Painted Lines, as always, for hosting us on their YouTube channel. We'll be up on Spotify tomorrow. I know I haven't posted the last couple on Spotify. The sound has just been really rough. But I think it's going to be a little better today. I tried a new setting. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. We'll see. But this one will be up on Spotify. Tommy and I's bet we'll keep track of on Twitter this week. I'll throw it up on the at PTP 2021. Matt and I will do a baseball podcast here sometime soon. At By the Book Baseball on Twitter. And for Tommy, Matt, Tyreek, thanks for helping out. If you watch again, that was awesome that he sat in. I'm Ty, and play your ball. Have fun.